What's up guys, my name's Joe, and in this video I want to explain exactly how to get out of your head, go out, express, socialize, speak to whoever you want, and no longer be trapped in the prison of your mind, constantly telling you you're not good enough, that this is too difficult, that this only works for good looking guys or taller guys or rich guys, and that all of these people seem to know each other. That's a big one. Oh, I just don't know these people. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to interrupt them. And there is a way to do this so it becomes so easy, so that you are no longer trapped in your head, so that it is so simple that once you understand this, you can go out, you can speak to whoever you want, whenever you want, and it really is like taking off an invisible backpack that you've been carrying, that you didn't even realize you've been carrying because it's been weighing you down the whole time. And as soon as you take it off, you're like, this is so easy. Whereas before it was like you go to a bar, and maybe you've been watching loads of videos like this, and or maybe you've had a few nights out that's been successful even, and you're like, yeah, here we go, I'm gonna have a really good night out, and there's some kind of pressure, there's some kind of weight on your mind to do it right, to express yourself again in the same way that you were, and it's suddenly not as easy as it was, right? So the key is presence. Like I keep saying, the key is presence, but not just any type of presence, this expressive presence that you can access at any time. This is available to you whenever you want to access it. It's always here, it's always now. The problem is, and this is what I discovered from going out for like 12 years and studying social dynamics and being a club promoter and actively trying to get women into nightclubs, was that whenever I was in my head, I was identified with my thinking. That means I was thinking from my thinking. I wasn't observing my thinking. I wasn't watching my thinking. I was in my thoughts. I was believing my thoughts. And you are not your thoughts. This is the big realization that you'll have. Occasionally, when you do this a lot and you push yourself and you create that clarity, when that clarity happens, you realize, I'm not my thoughts. This is a lie. This thing in my head that's constantly trying to like put me down or tell me that I'm not good enough or tell me that I shouldn't go and speak to these people, that's the issue. The opposite of that is a feeling of, it's easy. I can speak to whoever I want. I can express to whoever I want. But how do you get there? So the first thing you have to do is immerse yourself in the environment. What does that mean? You firstly pay attention to the resistance that you have. I call this the inner resistance. Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now calls it inner body awareness. And you want to have one foot or a bit of attention. So you want 50% of your attention on your inner body, the feeling inside of you. And you want 50% of it on your outer environment, the sounds, the smells, the feeling, the touching, right? I don't want to turn off the microphone. How it feels, like the senses. You want to immerse yourself in that. So those two things, and then immerse yourself in those two things, and then notice the stories your mind is producing. The stories your mind is producing is either about the past, about what you've done, about things that you didn't do, or things that you're regretting, or things you feel guilty about, or the future, things you're afraid of, things you don't want to happen, or things you hope to happen, things that you want to happen. If you're in that, if your attention is in those two, you're not immersed in your senses. You're not immersed in the inner body, and you're not immersed in what's actually happening around you, the raw reality. You train yourself to take action from those two places at the same time. So you feel the inner body, and then you stick to simplicity. So you're going to speak to somebody, you just speak to them, you just focus on saying hello. But you're training yourself to you're training yourself to be curious about what comes up. You're like, oh, there it is. There's the voice. But this time, if you're doing that, and you're doing that with awareness, it loses its power because you're bringing a bit of consciousness to it. What does that mean? It's no longer running the show in the background. It's no longer dictating things to you. If you keep doing that, you'll have more clarity, and eventually the feeling of this isn't that big a deal and I can just fully express and be myself, that will come out. Like when I do these videos, I've got half my attention here and I've got half my attention on the camera and the sounds and the sound of my voice and how this feels in my hand. because that's the raw reality. Everything else is an illusion. Everything else is my thoughts about what I'm doing. Oh, am I doing it badly? Oh, I just made a mistake. Maybe I should just not do this. Oh, I've never really done good videos before, so maybe I should just quit. Or this is a waste of time. No one's going to watch this. It's the same process. So you can train yourself. Do videos like this if you want. I think it's a really, really good idea. But what you'll do is you'll find that if you just stay with this, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, you start to express. Something else takes over. You go beyond your mind. You are not your mind. There is a dimension beyond your mind called being, which everybody possesses at all times, and it exists now. It exists within this moment, and it's always this moment. So you always have access to it. The reason that we don't have access to it, we think we don't have access to it, is because we tell ourselves we don't have access to it, and we're just dominated by what we think about situations and all of this extra shit that's coming in, and all of this extra shit that's coming in, which is adding judgment to things. It's more labels, more mental coloring, when really, what's really happening right now is I'm sat here holding this, speaking at the camera, speaking at my phone. All of that extra garbage, like the example I gave you, when you're stood in a bar and you want to be social, your mind will come in and it will tell you all different things. You've got to be aware of that, because if you go unconscious to it, that will win, and you won't do anything. You'll just stand there and not do anything. But if you tune into that feeling, you tune into what it's and if you tune into that feeling and you tune into what it's like to be curious and actually want to go and speak to people, just focus on the first couple of seconds. The actual action will give clarity. If you don't have clarity, the mind will just loop and loop and loop. But if you do this a lot, you'll realize it's not a big deal. If this helped, go to the link below. We go deeper on these topics. If you've enjoyed this video, obviously you did, subscribe, and see you in the next video.